Hey, and welcome to my channel. I'm Sam, and I talk about my spiritual awakening. And I've written a couple of books, and from that, this is what I discuss, sort of the different aspects of my book, which are all to do with my spiritual awakening. So today, I thought I'd focus on twin flame. What is twin flame? Twin flame's a nightmare, that's what it is. No, it's not really. It's where I am now. I am so grateful for everything that I've gone through. What is twin flame? So twin flame is basically two people that embody one soul, and the one soul, so it's like, yeah, it's twins of one soul. But with these twins, they generally one will have more of a masculine energy and one will have more of the feminine energy, and we trigger one another. And who knew all these things? I never knew all these things before. It was it's like I just knew that I knew this person. So I met my twin flame 21 years ago and spent one day with him, and he flew off to overseas, and I stayed here where I live in Australia, and then I never saw him again. Oh, well, actually, we talked to each other, we emailed each other for maybe 2 or 3 months. He had his life and I had my life, and the thing was, I did have lots of what ifs after I met him, because he just treated me so beautifully. He was probably the first man that ever treated me so beautifully. But it was more than that. It was more about, I just felt like I knew him. I just felt completely at home with him, so comfortable. There was everything just flowed. It was just beautiful. So yeah, he's sort of stuck in my mind. Mind you, then after those 3 months were gone and we stopped emailing each other, I totally pretty much more or less forgot about him. I probably did think about him every now and again, but really I got on with my life. And then 14 years later, he emailed me, and I was in a relationship. I was in a committed relationship, my long-term relationship that I've recently broken up from. And so yeah, he started emailing me. He began by saying he was coming to Brisbane and wanted to catch up with me, and I instantly had this feeling that it wasn't just to have a chat. It was going to be so much more than that. And so I didn't catch up with him because, some things you might live to regret. So anyway, and I thought so many times that I regretted not catching up with him. He came back another year later, I think it was, and I still didn't catch up with him. So maybe back then I was the runner. Who knows? Because in a twin flame relationship, they say one's a runner and one's a chaser. So one embodies more of the feminine energy, that's me, and the other one more of the masculine. But energies can change and swap, and sometimes I've been more masculine, and I've loved that. I have loved it. And maybe he was more feminine. I thought that at the time, and I sort of thought sucked in. But really, it's a journey of your own. So I honestly feel like I'm very, very balanced now, although you're probably thinking, really? I really do. Compared to what I used to be, I know myself so well now. I love myself. I think I'm worthy of so much, and I treat myself well, and I respect myself even more so, and I embody both feminine and masculine energy. Whereas my twin flame, I don't know where he is on his journey at the moment, and I actually think he's up shit creek. I don't wish that upon him, but I think that if that's what he's going through at the moment, it's going to bring him out to like where I'm at now. A lot has gone on between us this year, and that really is what made me understand what this twin flame journey was about, and it was for me to choose myself. I'd never chosen myself. I was able to look back at old patterns, old relationships, and see the patterns that I'd followed and allowed myself to be treated poorly, and just allowed it. I just didn't even realize that it was a thing that I was doing. I just never questioned things. And pretty much when he treated me badly, and like when I say he treated me badly, you've got to understand that I haven't seen him for 21 years. So we've only ever emailed. We don't talk. We don't actually talk. I've never heard his voice other than on a video, I think once. And we just, the only way we communicate is via email. And so we've had so many fights and arguments via email, which is made me so angry that it's kind of ridiculous, because I can only imagine how frustrated we would have been had we been able to speak to each other. It probably would have been way, way worse, because neither one of us would have backed down, and I wouldn't have backed then. He certainly wouldn't have. And anyway, we're different. Well, I certainly am. I can only speak for myself. He lives abroad. I live here, and I'm in such a good place. I don't think that I need him in my life. I really believe I don't need him in my life. I'm pretty sure that I've learnt my lessons that I was meant to learn from it, but who's to say? I don't know what I'd predetermined in my life. I don't know what the twin flame journey entails fully, so just because I've learnt my lessons, does that mean we stop learning? I don't know. I don't know how he's meant to fit into my life, if he's even meant to fit into my life anymore. And while I keep choosing myself, I just don't worry about it. I believe if I stay present and live in the moment and be happy and grateful, and look at what I've gone through and be grateful for where it's brought me to, then, if I don't project my thoughts into the future, then I don't have to worry. And I don't have to think of what is meant to come, because I'd much prefer to try and be present. It's so much easier. Alrighty, I'll pause this and then I'll come back with some more on twin flame.